Hey there, and welcome to SHOT Show 2024. I'm your favorite libertarian, and this is Phil over at Scalarworks. Thanks for having me at the booth, Phil.
Nice to have you over.
He's going to be telling you guys a little bit about Scalarworks as a brand, as a company, and also what's new and exciting here at SHOT Show 2024.
Great. So Scalarworks was founded by me 10 years ago. I was new to the shooting sports, and I was pretty happy with everything I could find on ARs except for the mounts. I found that they were, at the time, way too heavy. The QD was not particularly good. Return to zero was questionable. Reliability was questionable. They would either damage your receiver or they would just weight a ton. And as an industrial designer, I thought, well, how would you do it? And I did that, sat on it for 4 years because it seemed like such an obvious idea that someone would do it, while I lived my life. But they never did. And then eventually, you decide I'm going to shoot my shot. And I came out with at the time it was called the low drag mount. The principle of it has stayed unchanged, which the core of the low drag mount is click drive, which is our patented quick detach system. So it's completely tool-free, incredibly lightweight. It's the lightest QD system on the market, most compact QD system on the market, which is also very important to me, especially since when I started shooting, Molly was all the rage. Obviously still very relevant, but at the time, that's the thing that people were customizing and trying to figure out, what's the ideal setup and whatnot. And all these levers catching on slings and Molly gear was a problem. So I thought, well, I wanted something super, super slick. The only things at the time that really did that were bolt-on mounts. So I would keep going back and forth. I really like being able to move my very expensive aim point from gun to gun to gun, but I hate this lever. So I would keep convincing myself that, maybe it wasn't that bad. And then, no, I switch back to the bolt-on, and then, now I switch back to the QD. So the click drive basically solves all these problems. It's completely symmetrical on both sides, so it sticks out only 7 millimeters from the rail. So there's nothing to catch on either side, which later on when guns like the SCAR were introduced with the reciprocating charging handle, they would bust your knuckles by if you had anything sticking out. So it solved that problem as well, which is really nice. It has incredible return to zero. We had it measured a long time ago by a lab. It was like 0.0035 MOA. It's like an impossible number to be able to outshoot, really. And it weighs next to nothing. I mean, these are about half the weight of most competing QD mounts. We offer these in 3 different heights, or actually some of them in 3 different heights, most of them in 2 different heights, including 193, which has recently become our most popular, best-selling height. We made the world's first 193 folding iron sights just a couple of years ago, so that you could co-witness with our 193 collection of mounts. A few years ago we came out with our scope mounts, which have our QD system plus a bunch of other amazing features like level drive, which lets you level a scope in the mount in, I'd say 3 minutes if you don't know what you're doing, less than a minute for any of the guys that work at the company and stuff like that.
So 3 minutes for me. Okay, got it.
Then we have a flip-to-side magnifier mounts, first for aim point, and at this show, brand new, we're announcing our EOTech compatible flip-to-side magnifier mount. The interesting thing about this one is it actually turns the magnifier on its side a little bit, 45 degrees, so that the adjustment knobs on the EOTech magnifiers are actually tucked in further than they would be otherwise. But in every other respect, they'll have the same sturdy ball detent that our aim point magnifier mounts are known for. Even lighter weight, same click drive QD system. And very, very short throw. So, one of the problems I was trying to solve is why do these magnifiers have to end up so far out? So it tilts the gun to the side. It catches on stuff again. Well, by figuring out where to place the pivot, not for manufacturability, but for actual usability, was a game changer there. We also make arguably the world's best set of fixed iron sights, our Peak ones, which, from a style perspective, very much derived from the original, Stoner AR-15 sights. The rear carry handle, you can see how that looks.
But
they have everything, everything we do. It's manually adjustable. It's all everything Scalarworks does is about little details. Everything I design, I say selfishly I design it for myself, and I'm a bit of a prick when it comes to products and stuff like that. So if it's not really the best that it can be for what it is. Obviously you can't break the laws of physics, but we really try hard to try to get everything into every product that we make.
Well, I am really excited to see and kind of play with some of this stuff. One thing that I'm really into, and a lot of my viewers are into for the shotgun series that I'm doing, is shotgun accessories. I would love to take a look at some of those and show our viewers what you have.
Super low profile. We were the first ones to do this. I started with the Benelli M4, which famously has a Picatinny rail on it. That's also famously kind of completely useless, because as soon as you line up with the iron sights, you realize that any optic you put on there is completely obscured. So you have to lift your head now, losing your cheek weld, which means if you're fortunate enough to have a collapsible stock, fine, you can collapse it in. It actually brings it up. But most people don't have that stock, or they just don't want to run it in that kind of ergonomic configuration. So this solves that by actually placing the red dot as low as it needs to be able to co-witness with the iron sight. So it keeps the ergonomics of the shotgun. They weigh next to nothing. The RMR version is actually completely watertight without requiring a sealing plate. That's always been very important for me. Less is more.
Yeah.
We make these now in different footprints. So we have 8-point micro T2, RMR, Acro P2. We're going to be releasing this year Deep Delta Point Pro compatible, and Holosun 509T compatible as well. And they're Benelli, Beretta 1301 Tactical, Remington, and Mossberg as well.
Awesome. And the pricing for the piece that adapts
the SIG mounts are $119 bucks. Yeah.
So super affordable.
Yeah.
Pricing on the EOTech stuff, like this setup here, what are we looking at? Is it sold in kits or is sets?
No,
or is it separate?
they're sold separately, because not everyone really needs or wants of any specific combo and stuff like that. We do sell bundles on the website of optic with mount. You have to check what the prices are in the individual. They are aggressively priced, since you get a discount for buying them together. But this XPS mount, which is again brand new to the show, and these will be shipping about 2 weeks from now, which for us is a first for us to announce a thing and actually have it in production and soon to be shipping. That's a revelation.
That's awesome.
But this is our XPS mount, which is 193 height, and we will have a 226 height later this year. So that's 199. This is our EXPS mount, which is a completely integral replacement for the built-in QD that raises it to 226 height. That's 249. It includes a little Picatinny rail on the back that will let you mount a flip-to-side magnifier mount like our forthcoming EXPS one, or just a standard STS from EOTech. But most of our mounts are really like $159, like these single reflex sights or reflex mounts are 159 bucks. Our scope mounts are $399. They're much more expensive, but they're so feature packed and they have such a unique selling point with the level drive that we actually feel that's pretty good value. But the amount of machining that goes into those, honestly, if I could make them cheaper, I would, but it is what it is.
Yeah, prices aren't going down anytime soon, that's for sure.
Nope.
All right, this is all amazing stuff. One question I have for you, kind of getting personal here.
Okay.
With Phil, personal time with Phil. What would be your ideal, or I guess if you could only pick one, the one AR-15 that you would go with out of your personal collection? I know all of these are your babies.
Oh yeah, all of these are mine. Yes. I will say, if I could only have one, if it was the Boogaloo, and I could only grab one and run for the hills, it would be, I think, of all of these. Now I'm sure there's other equivalent ones, but the Nevesky N4 16-inch.
Okay.
Bazooka green.
Well, yeah, you got
the bazooka. You need a bazooka green, but the 16-inch obviously is versatility. 5.56 first of all, because 5.56, I mean, it's the king of calibers in my opinion for a man portable rifle.
Plentiful.
You can get it everywhere. It's lightweight. You can carry just a crap ton of it on you. It will go far enough, and if you get the good stuff, it's pretty badass even out to a distance. So it will be that. Then you can, what kind of optic setup you would put on it? Yeah. Like I would go with that's the setup right there. That's my rifle. That's how I would set it up. So
this guy right here? Yeah, let's bring it in.
So it has a Night Force Attacker 416 with our mount with the offset kick mount, which again our mounts have a sidekick pocket, as we call it, which lets you put a offset mount, or red dot mount on there. I don't know if I would use the duty RDS, but it's fine. Good, great battery life, so why not? Yeah, this scope, this mount, this rifle, probably that light, and maybe not that can, but it's what's on there. So yeah, that would be it.
Well, great pick. This is the first of the answers to that question that we actually had an example right here to show. So
everyone else just calls one out? Oh yeah, well sure, then Bugatti Chiron Super Sport.
They don't just pull one out, they're like, oh, this one right here. All right, well, if they want to know more about Scalarworks and where to find you guys, socials.
Scalarworks.com, Scalarworks on Instagram, Facebook, and the YouTube, yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks again for your time, really appreciate it. Guys, stay tuned for more SHOT Show 2024 coverage with your favorite libertarian and friends.
What keeps you up at night, yeah? Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah? Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah.